Hey everyone, we've been losing a bit of traction lately. So please subscribe, it's free and helps us keep creating great content for you. Your support means a lot. Now, let's dive in. The moment I saw my wife give the cufflinks to her bodyguard, I didn't hesitate to slap her twice. Then coldly threw the divorce agreement at her face. The reason was that before my best friend's wedding, I had messaged my wife, Emma, remember to bring the cufflinks I custom ordered for Tony for me. Please. Afterward, Tony dragged me away to hang out. Tony is an important partner, and also a longtime best friend. That's why I thought very carefully about his wedding gift. After some consideration, I decided to custom order a pair of black cufflinks. But when Emma arrived, I saw her bodyguard wearing those cufflinks. Explain this. Why is the gift I prepared for Tony on your bodyguard's wrist? I suppressed my anger and asked in a low voice. Emma was stunned. After turning to look at the bodyguard, she also appeared surprised. Sorry, I was so busy just now. Lucas asked me for a cufflink, and I didn't pay attention and gave it to him. Tell him to quickly find a secluded spot and take it off. I ground out the words. She nodded, but before she could speak, Lucas spoke first. His voice loud enough for the entire wedding to hear. I apologize, Mr. Jack. I didn't know these cufflinks were so important. If I had known, not even 10 livers would dare me to ask Ms. Emma for them. In an instant, many eyes turned toward us. Lucas pretended not to know what was going on and quickly took off the cufflinks. I apologize, Mr. Jack, I'll return them to you right away. He said with a look of grievance. Tony, even my longtime best friend, seeing this, became angry. Forget it, you keep them, I never reuse things that belong to others. I gave a bitter laugh. I apologize, Tony, I'll give you something else. Something better. Okay, but at least double the value. Tony laughed heartily. That last sentence was to save face for him. And his cheerful attitude now was to save face for me. I sighed in relief, not because I was afraid of Tony, but because causing a scene at someone else's wedding was inappropriate. Afterward, I pulled Emma by the arm to a secluded corner. Outwardly she remained calm, but I knew her palms were sweaty. Emma, I said through gritted teeth. We've made things clear. This marriage is a family alliance. And betrayal is absolutely forbidden, especially in public. But look, what exactly have you done today? She pulled her hand away from mine, angrily. I haven't done anything wrong. Lucas is just my bodyguard. Emma, are you genuinely stupid or are you testing my IQ? He hasn't graduated from college. He's thin as a bag of bones. A gust of wind could knock him over. So who can he protect? Even I can see it, let alone outsiders. I frowned. Emma's face turned pale. Lucas is my junior from school, and we get along well talking. But there's absolutely nothing between us. He's just a friend to chat with so I don't feel bored. Is that really the case? I still felt uncomfortable. Even if it was an arranged marriage, we had been married for many years. Even without love, we were like family, caring for each other. I knew her well. She had never been intimate with other men, but this time was different. I lowered my voice. Ask your junior if he's truly naive and unaware of the situation. Or if he deliberately shouted to make me lose face. Emma seemed unhappy. Don't falsely accuse others. Fine, I gave a cold laugh. If I say your junior is an eyesore to me, will you fire him? She let go of my hand, her voice suddenly cold. Jack, does marrying you mean I lose all my freedom? All right, I understand your attitude clearly now. No need to say more. I nodded. Think about it yourself. If you have other intentions, inform me beforehand, and we will divorce. But the business relationship between the two families isn't easy to sever. I need to prepare. Before, she had always been discreet. Her driver, bodyguard, or assistant were all female. Especially when in front of me, she maintained a distance from men. That was the upbringing of a wealthy heiress, deeply ingrained in her. But this time, she made an exception for Lucas. This was enough to prove how special he was to her. Emma was stunned for a moment, then quickly walked toward me, losing her usual elegance. Jack, don't overthink things. I truly don't have any other intentions. I just need a friend. I paused, looked at her, and said, "Tell me, do I have any friends of the opposite sex?" "You." Emma was stunned for a moment, then replied, "You don't, but that doesn't mean I can't, does it?" I sighed. "It's not that I don't have any. It's that I can't. I am protecting our marriage." "All right, Emma, let's not talk about this topic anymore. Today is Tony's wedding. Please cooperate with me a little. We can discuss any issues when we get home." Emma slightly nodded, then held my hand tightly. I didn't understand what exactly she was nervous about. Was it because I had correctly guessed that she had a special interest in Lucas? But what I didn't expect was, Lucas later caused another trouble. When the MC was hyping up the atmosphere in the hall, Lucas suddenly shouted, "Mr. Tony, you just said you don't reuse things that belong to others, right? But this statement is clearly false. As far as I know, your wife used to have a boyfriend." In that moment, the entire hall fell silent. The atmosphere was chilling, and my head felt like it was about to explode. On the stage, both Tony and his wife turned pale. Tony's wife took the microphone from the MC and said, "Our wedding will be postponed for a moment. I invite everyone to follow me to the hospital to prove that Ariana is still a virgin." After saying that, her gaze settled on me. "Jack, your wife's close bodyguard has falsely accused me like this. So, you will cover all the examination costs." My face flushed. Ariana's words were like a strong slap directly across my face. Especially the words, "your wife's close bodyguard," implying that I was being cheated on. But ironically, I had no argument to refute it. Tony looked deeply at me and said, "Jack, what are you doing? Aren't you a very cautious person?" At this moment, Lucas was hiding behind Emma, his expression a mix of stubbornness and grievance. "Sister Emma, did I say anything wrong? But my words are true. Mr. Tony's wife used to have a boyfriend. I read it on social media." Emma's face was pale, but she wasn't angry. She even stepped out to protect Lucas. Seeing this, everyone's eyes on me changed. My wife was protecting the man who made me lose face. This made me look like a clown with enormous horns. "Cut his tongue out." My bodyguard immediately stepped forward. But Emma quickly stopped him. "Jack, are you crazy? Lucas just doesn't understand that in the entertainment industry, you need to create scandals. So he misunderstood Ariana." Why Emma openly protected Lucas? Even I didn't understand. Didn't she know that such protection was an insult to me? On the stage, Ariana suddenly burst out laughing. "Emma, you keep such a fool by your side again? He embarrassed me. His purpose was to provoke your husband. And yet you still protect him? Is a figure from the elite like Jack so easily insulted by others?" Tony stepped forward and held Ariana's hand. She didn't say anything, but her eyes were full of murderous intent. I could only shake my head and give a bitter laugh, then slowly walked onto the stage. Taking the microphone from Ariana's hand, I announced, "I, Jack, officially divorce Emma starting today." After saying that, I decisively walked off. Everyone buzzed with chatter, but only by doing this could I help Tony save face and ease Ariana's awkwardness. As for Emma, she had gone this far. "I think this marriage no longer needs to continue." "Jack, what are you saying? How can you treat divorce like a joke? Lucas is just my junior. I have absolutely no feelings for him." Hearing this, I glanced at Emma and unexpectedly caught Lucas smiling provocatively. Did he think he had won? How ridiculous. I pulled Emma's hand away and coldly led my bodyguard away. Tony's wedding, although I tried my best, it seems it can't continue today. Emma rushed after me and shouted, "Jack, you misunderstood. Don't you realize how much I love you?" At this point, she no longer cared about Lucas. But this matter no longer concerned me. Emma says she loves me? How ridiculous. Ha ha ha. As I walked out of the banquet hall, my phone rang. It was my father calling. At the same time, messages kept pouring in, including texts from Emma's parents. I took a deep breath, hung up the call, then turned to my assistant, telling him to inform my family that I could handle this by myself. After saying that, I went straight to the parking lot. Emma was still persistently chasing after me. By now, she had lost her usual elegance, pulling me toward her car. Since there were too many people around, I didn't want to make things embarrassing. So I signaled to my assistant and got into the driver's seat. As soon as I settled down, I suddenly noticed a sticker on the passenger seat. A photo booth picture of Emma and Lucas. Even though they maintained a distance, it was easy to see that Emma was smiling very brightly, a smile I had never seen. Emma, sitting in the back seat, quickly spoke up. "Jack, things aren't what you think. I actually haven't told you yet." "Shut up, Dash." I angrily kicked the passenger seat. She was so frightened she started crying. "Come here, look, Dash." I beckoned with my hand. Initially, Emma was confused, but then her face turned pale. "It's not that, Jack, listen to my explanation. I've wanted to take photo booth pictures since I was little but never had the chance. That day, there was a shop on the street, and I wanted to try. Lucas kept insisting on taking a picture together. So, look, we still maintained a distance." I closed my eyes, not wanting to say anything more. My heart was in turmoil, because I suddenly realized I cared about Emma more than I thought. After many years of marriage, I had long fallen in love with her. I just hadn't realized it myself. But when I realized it, everything had become meaningless. Jack, I wasn't smiling so happily because I was taking a picture with Lucas, but because it was the first time I had ever taken a photo booth picture. And it felt new. I once thought about taking one with you, but we are both busy, and I was afraid you'd tease me for being childish, so I didn't dare to say anything. Dash. Emma continued to explain, her anxiety clearly visible. I shook my head. Emma, why can't you grasp the main point? From the moment you kept a male bodyguard by your side, you directly insulted me. People in our circle all rumored you were keeping a toy boy. I trusted you, so I didn't mention it. I didn't expect you to treat me this way in the end. Such an important gift, you gave it to him. Do you know he is just a bodyguard? Completely unworthy of wearing such a luxury item? Moreover, at the wedding, he repeatedly embarrassed me. Yet you still protected him. Doesn't this implicitly admit to the relationship between the two of you? It's not true, Emma cried. I sighed. All right, Emma. After all, our marriage is just a family alliance, with no emotional foundation. You've never been in love, so it's normal to be swayed by another man. Let's save face and divorce peacefully. I will immediately cut ties with Lucas. Please don't divorce me, Dash. She said while crying. Just then, Emma's phone rang. Looking at the screen, her expression changed. I knew it was Lucas calling, so I silently waited to see if she would answer. I will clarify things with him, she said. But after only listening to the call for a moment, she exclaimed, Don't be afraid, I'll be right there. Then she turned to me. Please get out of the car first. Lucas is in trouble. How ridiculous. A moment ago I was still wondering if I should give her another chance. Now there's no need. I will draft the divorce agreement and send it to you. Dash. I looked directly into Emma's eyes and stepped out of the car. I'm not getting a divorce. She left that one sentence and hurriedly told her assistant to drive away. Not getting a divorce but going to see another man. Does Emma even know what she is doing? I sighed, reached into my pocket for a cigarette but couldn't find one. Because ever since we got married, Emma said she didn't like the smell of smoke, so I quit. She had felt guilty back then. You don't have to quit. Just don't smoke at home. It's hard to avoid smoking when you socialize outside. I touched Emma's cheek, smiling as I said, Emma, although our marriage is a family alliance, now that we are married, I will certainly treat you well. Tell me what you don't like. I will try my best to please you. Emma then proactively hugged me, looked up, and shyly said, Jack, I don't have any experience, so I'll leave everything to you. Having said that, she slowly closed her eyes. That wedding night, even now, I can't forget. Emma cried. I completely didn't know if she cried because of the pain, or because of this loveless marriage. From that moment on, I swore to treat her very well. That was a man's pure love. Unfortunately, things have gone too far. Just then, my car conveniently stopped by the side of the road. My assistant got out and offered me a cigarette. I took a deep drag. It had been a long time since I smoked, and I felt a little dizzy. Sir, shall we? My assistant asked. I sighed. Go back to the company. We are about to divorce. The business dealings with the Emma family need to be severed. Everything must be prepared in advance. I worked at the company until late before going home. As soon as I walked in, I saw Emma dozing on the sofa. Hearing my footsteps, she quickly woke up and rushed over. Jack, why didn't you answer my calls? I didn't reply, avoiding the question, and walked straight to the wine cabinet to grab a bottle of red wine. You have a stomachache. Don't drink alcohol. Emma rushed closer, cautiously reaching out to hold the corner of my shirt. I quickly evaded her, placed the wine on the bar counter, poured a glass, and wearily asked, Not with your Lucas? Jack, don't talk like that. Lucas called me earlier, saying someone was following him, and he even saw someone holding a knife. Lucas had previously offended Tony and Ariana, so I was worried. I gave a faint laugh. We've known Tony for at least 7 or 8 years. Don't you understand what kind of person he is? He would never use such despicable tactics. As for Ariana, she has known us since childhood, and is even very close to you. Her methods are always ruthless but never concealed. Hiring someone to kill Lucas, she's too lazy to resort to that. Remember back then, someone harmed Ariana. She planned for half a year, creating countless coincidences, allowing that person to meet a big shot in the company and have the opportunity to go abroad. But who knew? Abroad was precisely the grave Ariana had prepared for that person. Emma quietly said, I can't care about so many things. I laughed coldly. Emma, I know you care about Lucas very much. But you should know, I'm a very difficult person to change. The divorce is set in stone. Before Emma could finish speaking, I walked straight out the door. Don't say anything more, let's leave a little dignity for both of us. That night, I returned to my old house. My parents were very worried, and said Emma's parents wanted to see me, but I refused. The Emma family and my family have been close for many years. But there was never an arranged marriage between the previous 2 generations. The marriage between Emma and me was only because her family was facing difficulties and needed my parents' help. Now that their family has overcome the crisis, I can withdraw. My parents always respect my decisions. After all, the family business in my hands is developing more and more, so they have nothing to worry about. That night, I thought a lot about my marriage. In this relationship, we lacked too many things. There was no dating process. Before marriage, I was free to pursue relationships. So I was very experienced. And Emma always kept herself pure, never even having a boyfriend. It's understandable that she was swayed by Lucas. But understanding does not mean forgiveness. My greatest goodwill is simply not to hate her. Moreover, I have many things to do soon. Tony and Ariana are both well-known figures in our circle. Their wedding was ruined by me, so I must compensate them. This compensation can only come from cooperation between us. Even though they are not greedy for small benefits, I have to do something to express my apology. That is also a way out for both of us. Otherwise, too much gossip will inevitably lead to friction. I slept too much, and was still a little dizzy when I woke up. I didn't eat breakfast, and went to the company. But when the car stopped at the gate, I saw a large crowd gathered. Walking closer, I saw Lucas kneeling in front of the company. He was wearing shorts, shirtless, with thorny branches tied to his back. It was exactly the style of carrying thorns to beg for forgiveness. I frowned and asked, What are you doing? Mr. Jack, I know I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Ms. Emma and I are completely innocent. So please don't misunderstand. Please don't send people to kill me anymore, okay? Lucas is truly the type of person who, if he doesn't speak, then so be it. But if he speaks, he must be genuinely shocking. I gave a faint smile, because in the crowd, I saw many people secretly filming. It was obvious without being told that he was trying to use public opinion to pressure me. You're saying I sent people to kill you? Mr. Jack, I am truly wrong. Please don't kill me, okay? Lucas continued his lines, completely oblivious to what I was saying. At this moment, I also saw my employees filming in the crowd. I smiled, and continued. You said I sent people to kill you? If that's the case, then call the police. Lucas was immediately stunned. What? If someone sent people to kill you, shouldn't you call the police first? I asked again. Lucas looked up but couldn't utter a word. Seeing his shifty attitude, I vaguely guessed. Perhaps those people were hired by Lucas himself. If that's the case, then don't go anywhere, wait for the police to arrive and talk. Hearing that, a few people in the crowd wanted to run away. But my bodyguards rushed out to block them. The company security team also ran out at this time, surrounding those people tightly. Murder. This corporation is bullying people, bullying innocent civilians. Before anyone could say anything, those people immediately started crying thief while robbing, and at the same time pulled out their phones to film. But if they could film, so could we. Moreover, both my bodyguards and security guards just stood there with their arms crossed, not moving. Conversely, those people were incredibly frantic, proactively striking first. My people are extremely well trained. From start to finish, they only acted in legitimate self-defense. And the frenzied actions of those people were all recorded by cameras. I know you are filming. I laughed coldly. It's fine, go ahead and post it online. But if you edit or distort the truth, I will sue. At this moment, someone brought out a massage chair for me. I sat down and asked Lucas indifferently. If you have anything else, just bring it all out. Mr. Jack, I don't understand what you're saying. I absolutely don't want to harm you. Lucas argued loudly. You won't say? Fine, let me guess then. I'm sure you're still hiding an ace up your sleeve, right? Is Emma about to arrive? She will see you kneeling in front of me. Then you'll act pitifully to make her disappointed in me, right? I laughed and said, all right, kid. You don't need to do all that. Because I've decided to divorce Emma. After this, you can freely be a kept man. But I also want to warn you. Even if you manage to cling to Emma, her family won't accept you. The moment I finished my sentence, Emma genuinely appeared frantically in the crowd. When she saw Lucas kneeling in front of me, a look of heartache immediately appeared on her face. The next second, Emma looked at me with disappointment. Didn't I tell you? This has absolutely nothing to do with Lucas. Why did you have to go this far? Witnessing this scene, the expressions of the onlookers immediately became subtle. Some people even started live streaming on their phones. Netizens, who had initially cursed me as an inhumane person, now switched to cursing Lucas. And even called Emma brainless. I looked at Emma, only hating that iron cannot be forged into steel. You've been navigating the business world for so many years. Think about it. If I truly wanted revenge on him, would I act right in front of my own company? Emma was briefly stunned. I sighed. Now I was even too lazy to talk to her. Wait until the full video is posted. You'll know then. And by the way, the divorce papers have been sent to your place. After saying that, I decisively stood up and left. And didn't forget to tell my assistant to file a lawsuit against Lucas for defamation. Emma seemed to want to follow. But after a moment of hesitation, she turned back to help Lucas up first. I no longer cared about the two of them. Everything that needed to be said, I had said. After the videos from that day were posted, I immediately asked my lawyer to contact the platforms to check the IP addresses of those people. I am not someone who is easily bullied. So anyone who wants to mess with me will have to pay the price. As for Lucas, I already had a way for those who filmed the video to confess the truth that they had colluded with him. That evening, as soon as I got home, my mother-in-law's phone suddenly rang. She said she wanted to meet me to talk. I thought about it for a while and agreed. Because things like this are clearer when discussed in person. Stepping into my in-law's house, I immediately smelled the fragrant red wine beef stew. My favorite signature dish. Every time I visited, my mother-in-law would make this dish. Seeing me, my mother-in-law quickly came over, her eyes red, her voice a little aggrieved. Jack, you have suffered a lot lately. But you know, our Emma is absolutely not that kind of casual person. I hope you will give her a chance to explain. I nodded, my face expressionless. Understood. Since my mother-in-law had already said that, I couldn't be too tough. But no matter what the explanation was, the divorce would not change. Not long after, the food was served. My father-in-law and I sat down, and he poured me a glass of wine. Just as he was about to speak, Emma returned, and she brought Lucas with her. Lucas walked towards Emma's parents, offering several boxes of tonics. "Uncle, Auntie, these are what I specially bought for the two of you." My mother-in-law glanced at them, coldly. "No need, you take them back." My father-in-law was silent, but his expression was extremely unpleasant. It was understandable, they had finally managed to invite me over, intending to ask me to give Emma a chance to explain. Yet their own daughter had ruined that opportunity with her own hands. I almost burst out laughing. A little bit of inferiority unconsciously arose in my heart. It turns out I'm not even as good as a scheming person like Lucas. Emma frowned, seemingly dissatisfied with her parents' attitude. She intended to sit next to me, but Lucas was one step faster. Seeing this, Emma was slightly stunned, and finally could only sit next to him. "Who allowed you to sit down?" my father-in-law gritted out. Lucas put on an aggrieved look. "Uncle, we will be family sooner or later. Emma and I truly love each other. Can you please not be like this?" These words almost gave my in-laws a heart attack. Emma, on the other hand, turned pale, unable to believe he would say such a thing. Lucas turned to look at me provocatively. "Mr. Jack, love is the only thing no one can force." I gave a faint smile. "Lucas, I already told you, that's not how the game is played. You are shooting yourself in the foot." "Emma, why did Mr. Jack say that to me? Dash." He asked Emma foolishly again. But she just looked at him coldly, not saying a word. I leaned back in my chair, calmly. "Emma, there was no affection between us to begin with. I can understand your closeness with another man. But before we divorce." "No, we are not divorcing. Dash." Emma quickly cut me off. Dash. "Jack, you have to believe me. Lucas and I really haven't done anything." I nodded. "I understand. But listen, you also have to understand. Betrayal is not only physical. Even emotional infidelity is unforgivable. And what you've done recently is the sharpest knife cutting apart our marriage. So, we absolutely must divorce." After saying that, I decisively stood up and left. Behind me, Emma's sobbing could be heard. But this matter no longer concerned me. She and I, it really is over. But when Lucas saw me leaving, he thought he had won. So he immediately and eagerly said to Emma, "Sister Emma, then we can be together now, right?" Emma wiped her tears and looked at Lucas coldly. "Lucas, do you really think you have that qualification?" Emma's expression was extremely cold. She took out her phone, found a picture, and showed it to Lucas. "Come on, open your eyes wide and look." Lucas was momentarily stunned, staring intently at a photo of a teenager in a basketball jersey on the phone screen. This is," Emma continued. "This is Jack. I have liked him for a long time. Lucas, I treated you specially only because you bear some resemblance to Jack. I never had any feelings for you. It's just that he's been quite distant with me lately. So I wanted to use you to stimulate him." The more she spoke, the louder Emma cried. My mother-in-law immediately rushed over to comfort her, while my father-in-law angrily pointed his finger directly at Lucas's face and shouted, "Get out, get the hell out of here." I had sent the divorce papers to Emma's house, but she consistently refused to sign them. She even shamelessly chased me all the way to my private residence. That day, as I was sitting on the bed, intending to finish up some work before going to sleep, Emma suddenly burst in. I was startled. "Again? This is the 10th time this week. Emma, how many more times do you want me to repeat this? Our relationship truly cannot be reconciled anymore," I said helplessly. For some reason, after hearing that, Emma laughed. "Jack, you're not angry because of the relationship between our two families. You're angry because you love me, isn't that right? As for Lucas, I've had people cripple him. And I didn't forget to cut out his tongue too." I sighed, without denying it. "Emma, we've been together for so many years. How could I not have feelings?" "I understand." She nodded, then took a knife from her pocket and pressed the blade against her neck. "Jack, if you still want a divorce, Then I'll die for you to see." As she spoke, she pressed the knife harder. I saw a stream of fresh blood flowing down Emma's neck, and immediately felt my scalp tingle. She's crazy. This woman is truly crazy. "Jack, do you really have the heart to watch me die? If you still want a divorce, I will die immediately. By then, please take care of my parents for me." "Emma, are you sick?" I angrily shouted. She didn't say anything, just held the knife tightly against her neck. I knew she was a woman of her word, so I could only helplessly agree not to divorce. After returning to our shared home, we each took a separate room. I had promised not to divorce, but that didn't mean I had to be faithful to this marriage. In the following days, I continuously brought other women home to stay the night. My goal was simple: to make Emma feel uncomfortable and retreat, completely giving up on me. But no matter what I did, she just gritted her teeth and cried, adamantly refusing to divorce. I was really starting to go insane. Even when I made outrageous demands, she calmly agreed. I was at my wits' end, truly not knowing how to deal with this woman. That day, I invited Tony and Ariana out for dinner. After quite a few drinks, Ariana was the first to speak. "Jack, actually Emma didn't do anything wrong either. Moreover, not only you but we all know she has feelings for you." I laughed coldly. "Feelings for what? That woman is just unwilling to give up." I didn't say anything more, and Tony was deep in thought. When I returned home drunk, Emma helped me into the bedroom, changed my clothes, and wiped me down. As she wiped, she muttered, "Jack, have you forgotten? We were classmates from elementary school to high school. Back then, you would take me to school on your bicycle every day. Although my parents tried to stop it. Have you ever wondered why they stopped you and not others? At that time, someone would secretly watch you every day. Could you feel it? That person was me. I didn't know how to express my feelings, and I was afraid you would hate me. So I could only use this method to get a little closer to you. Afterward, I went abroad to study. Do you know what I was most afraid of during my time abroad? I was most afraid that when I returned home, I would find out you were already married. During that time, I often followed your updates on social media. And I also saw you frequently changing girlfriends. Luckily, when I returned home, you still hadn't started a family. Afterward, I tried hard to beg my parents to proactively suggest the family alliance. Jack, do you know how happy I was on our wedding night? In fact, I could feel that you treated me very well. But, I also realized that you were increasingly cold to me. Especially after you and Tony expanded your business abroad. During that time, there were days when you didn't even say a word to me. And there were many women who sent me photos of you in bed with them. I believe you didn't do anything wrong to me. But I still couldn't help feeling jealous. Afterward, I met Lucas. He looked very much like you in your teenage years. So I thought of using him to provoke you, to make you jealous. That way, maybe you would pay a little more attention to me. I truly had no feelings for him. And I never expected things to go this far. After crying her heart out, Emma collapsed onto my arm and fell asleep. The next morning, when I woke up, I pushed her away and left the house as usual. In the time that followed, I occasionally still brought other women home. But Emma seemed to have become numb. Not even bothering to look. I thought that evening was just a dream. Until 3 months later, Emma unexpectedly became pregnant. She didn't ask me to do anything. So I continued to live as I pleased, only paying a little more attention to her. I felt that, actually, continuing like this wasn't bad. Time can heal all wounds. But the scars in love are another story. No matter how many years pass, the memory of those mistakes remains deeply etched in my mind. We can try to forget, but the painful emotions still quietly creep into our dreams, waking us up in the middle of the night. A scar in love is like a reminder of what was lost. And also a profound lesson about life.